The next thing I wanted to ask you was about differences that I fully just put my hand over my face. The next question
What are the differences?
Don't look at me. What are some of the differences and the things that you've learned from those early shows that you did when you were basically a teenager?
What exactly is a producer? What do they do? How do they do it? And can anyone be one? I'm Veronica Diamond, a writer, comedian, and sometimes independent producer. I love talking shop with other creators and hearing their advice, insights, and war stories. If you've ever wondered how shows get made, this is the show for you. Welcome to The Means of Producing.
Okay, hi, again. Oh no, I was supposed to speak into the mic. Hello again, it's me, Veronica Diamond, here at The Means of Producing, the show where we talk about producing. How do you do it? How do you do it better? I need to know that clearly. I need tips on producing. I need to create a better intro and figure out what I'm supposed to say to you people when the show first starts. Anyway, hello, thank you so much for tuning in. Today with me, I have another new guest. New guests every time, but he's new to you as podcast people, audience, that's the word, but a very old friend of mine. Please welcome Christopher Dunn.
Hi, buddy. So good to be here.
Thank you so much for being on the pod, the cast, the vidcast?
Yeah, the vidcast. Okay, yeah, the vidcast.
There's too much video for it to not be a vidcast.
A vidcast. It's a vidcast. Wasn't that from like people primarily having it accessible on their iPods or something first? I think that was like a branded thing at first. So funny.
Yeah.
What pod are we all in?
The pod referred to the iPod, RIP, as the youth say. Every time I talk about something old, I'm always like, RIP. It's going to be my thing, a thing that I've got to stop saying. But yeah. Oh, on little pods like this, little tiny iPods. That's where the word podcast came from. And then we dropped iPods
entirely.
But we still have podcasts.
Phonecasts.
Anyway, thank you so much for being on my show.
A pleasure to be
my
here.
Extremely meandering show. Christopher Dunn, the first question I usually ask people is, who are you? For the people, for the audience members who don't know you yet, who are you?
Who you're about to learn about is I'm a multi-hyphenate, and I don't have like one real kind of main focus. I'm an opera singer now, a improviser. I have a band called Mundane Problems, and I just finished my music degree out at University of Manitoba, so I was a student. And I'm a comedian and producer from here in St. John's, Newfoundland, Labrador.
Exactly, down a good old homeboy.
Mm-hmm.
Although you were going to be moving away, you were moved away for school, and now you're going to be moved away.
Yes.
Maybe we'll get into that a little bit, a little bit later when we get into what's next. Christopher, how did you get your start in producing?
I took the leadership program at Improv U through the Canadian Improv Games, and there were a lot of great opportunities. So that was out in Sherbrooke, Quebec. There were a lot of great opportunities for us during that time to learn about producing shows. And it was after I had gotten back from that, I went to Improv U and then spent 2 weeks, which became a month, in Montreal afterwards, like directly after high school, just like hanging out and volunteering for Just for Laughs. And I vowed when I came back that I would like produce a show, a stand-up show. And the first one that we did, my sweet mother, shout out mom, Hilda Wakeham Dunn, angel among angels.
She's great. Love you, Hilda.
Right? If I can't do a show and shout out mom, it's like, yeah, what's the point? I think she spent more. No, I know for sure she spent more on pizza than the comedians all made. But it was a great time and everyone was very agreeable.
Right. So you got you learned about producing from Improv U. That's I guess maybe I should go a little bit further back because what got you into show business in the first place? People don't start producing, right? We always start with something else. And I recall during the Yuck Yucks days back in the day, you being there
back in the day
with your mom.
Yes.
Can you what was your start with improv? What was your start with comedy?
my two comedy parents, my own mother and Sarah Walsh, were tag teaming babysitting me as I was still underage at the club. So like 17 and 18, going to Yuck Yucks, doing the Wednesday open
with
mic
his
nights.
mom, because
with my mom there, telling jokes that mom, bless her, elected to hear, and dad as well. Like, and both of them so supportive of this. And I had originally in high school been doing the Canadian Improv Games, and then got the chance to try stand-up at Improv U. So then doing more stand-up afterwards, I got the bug to try it more and more, and eventually like producing shows. Mom was an events planner for a lot of her career, and so very much thinking about like how to give people a night out. And so Night Out is my company, Night Out Productions, and that name came from Tony Murray of the Rock House and the Ship. When I was trying to organize some like music night at the Ship, and he said like, it should be at least like a decent amount of time that people are, because when people plan on going to a show, they want a night out. So he's forever credited with that. But yeah, it wasn't long after. I think our first show was at Afterwards Books. It was an improv show, and it was part of a larger thing that was happening across the country, the Nightwing Improv Showcase, that was like different stories that people would submit, and then and we were going to have a projector and everything. It was going to come and look smooth and clean like this, and then the projector itself didn't work, so we just had a big projector screen that eventually was taken down. It's very humbling in the beginning.
Just a big white screen.
Just a big white screen in the background that was like, how are we going to put anything on this?
Chekhov's white screen. They're definitely going to use it.
Screen.
They're definitely going to use it, right? No. Oh, it was just a prop that didn't get used.
Yeah. It was 2014, and now it's 11 years later. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, that is a while ago. It's been a minute. So one of the shows that I think people might remember that I recall you were doing very frequently were the first timer shows. Mm-hmm. Where'd you come up with the idea for that? And can you talk a little bit about that for the audience?
I would love to. I got the idea for that from Jay. Hello again, audience. It's so nice to have you. I got the idea for that from Jay Reed out at the Making Box Theater in Guelph. He had been doing those shows, like the same title and everything of My First Time, giving like 8 to 10 comics their first like 5 to 7 minutes, and just sounded like a really great way to grow the scene, because while it was growing, like introducing new people into it, or anyone, I've always been a proponent of like, oh, I could never do that. I'm just like, oh, it sounds like a dare.
You don't know how easy it is to do this.
Yeah, you don't
It's hard to do it well, but it's easy to get up.
Well. To start anything, anyone can be so... that like there's no expectation at the beginning, but it's that Ira Glass thing about taste, right? You just want to be like good right away, and you know what you want, but not how you're going to get it yet. But yeah, I basically, everyone who has been like, oh, I can't do that, was a dare to me. And so yeah, got together these My First Time shows, first at the Levy. RIP, as the youngsters say.
The youth say. This is for you. This is for the youth.
This is for the youth. learn from us. The Levy and Gene Brown were so great to help put those off. And yeah, we gave the final tally over 3 years of doing the show is 109 people tried stand up for the first time at those shows.
That is a monumental number of people.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I hosted a couple of them and they were great fun. My thing when I hosted was to always do something that I had never done, which included, I think, juggling blind was one of them, and magic tricks was another one. And oh boy, did I fail at doing magic tricks! Ooh, it was bad.
Because like you want to give people something that I don't know if Jay had done that, but like probably hosting those shows, like just being like accomplished hosts and everything, and more comfortable comedians who have the chance to like show our own vulnerability in that way.
And they were really fun shows. Like the audience was always very supportive and very loving.
Well, it's all their best buddies going to see them perform stand up for the first time, and like the room is only support. Yeah. Like it's a foolproof heckler room. Like you can't heckle somebody in that room because everybody's there to see a friend. And like I got that spirit of love, and it's even carried through. I got that spirit of love like for the performer to audience relationship and vice versa from the improv games. I know that, and I wanted to like infuse that through. And Jay himself was involved with the improv games as well. So like, very much like getting the audience and performer on the same team. And then that really helped out when I was announcing for the Canada Games last month in August, because it was just treating it like an improv show or like a stand-up show, getting people involved and on board. Yeah,
there's so many skills that cross over when you're hosting your own show. Producing and hosting often in St. John's, I find, go hand in hand, because it's about you making mic time for yourself or show mic time for other people.
Yes.
So there's that crossover. And then once you've got hosting skills, like you can take that for emceeing and all sorts of other places.
Yeah. I like Josh mentions, got to give huge cred there to. He was one of the people who did the First Timers show back December 6th, I want to say, was the day. I try to remember their comedy anniversaries of like, he's been doing it for 6 years now. This is 2018, 2019? Okay. Yeah. 2018. No, 2019 might be it. Yeah. Does room last minute comedy up at Peter Easton right now.
He's been on the show, friend of the show.
Friend of the show, Josh mentions. We got to mention that.
Yeah.
He does a night at the end of every month for Last Minute Comedy to give people a chance to try hosting for the first time. So it's such a heartwarming continuation of the vibe of the First Timers shows, and like there have been a few people that have been sticking around and doing it for years and years now after doing their First Timer show. I think we started that in that was like 2016 or 2017. Yeah.
Another thing that I think was clever about those shows is it wasn't just about first time, it was always a theme as well. Yes. You attached my first time with a theme, so it drew in the audience of supportive people, but it also draws in people who are like, oh, my first dating time, or my first, I don't know, teaching work time.
Oh my God.
Right? So, funny work stories, funny dating stories. I like that.
Mark Power doing his first time, God love him. It was like my first dating time because I think it was a February show. So at the Levy had a bouquet of flowers to just like do a set with. It was so freaking charming. And like
prop comedy, it always works. Everyone loves it
every time. Going the extra mile in stand-up is going actually an inch. You do not need to go even a mile, a kilometer even. Like Yeah, having those themes on was like per month. We'd have like my first spooky time for October, and I think just having a little like taste to be present of whatever was going on that month. I think November, I was like, what friggin' holiday? We called it my first rebellious time one year. December, like my first holiday time. January, maybe even like a new year, new me sort of a thing on the go. So yeah, keeping a theme going within that so that it can even, yes, bring out like some kind of, there's a prompt for the stand-ups if they want to.
Yeah, and somebody who might be like, I don't have any fun dating stories. Oh, wait, like New Year, New Me? Yeah, I've got a whole, like, set on that. It was very clever. Like, the way that you organized those, I think it was very, very smart. And they were very fun shows. It was a lot of fun.
Thanks, very gracious to Jay for giving. That's the thing, too, about, like, if you like a show that you've seen away... There was we got a cease and desist one time. We'll talk to you about it after. From a show that I really enjoyed, and we did not get permission to do it.
Okay, well.
The style of don't rename your show when it's the exact same format and advertise it that it's like this show.
No, copyright. People will care about your copyright, and
copyright's real.
Yeah, it's real. And legally enforceable.
Maybe that's the title of this episode is Real and Legally Enforceable with Christopher Dunn. Chances are you'll be able to do some kind of show like that if you ask the person, because that's what I did with Jay. I was like, I don't want to steal your idea, and he was like more than happy to give it. It was him and Spencer Dunn, and there was forgetting the name of the other person involved, but yes, all the Making Box Guelph crew. Love you guys. Yeah,
but when you're producing your own show, I highly encourage people to come up with their own ideas first and like work those ideas out. And yeah, if you're doing something, you saw something and you're like, oh, I think I could try something like that. Man, you got to make it your own because it's rude to take somebody's idea, I think, without asking permission.
Just outright. Professionally
rude, but also potentially legally enforceable. So yeah, that's fantastic. And have you been producing many shows since you moved away to do school? You said you started a band.
Yeah.
So I imagine that you're doing shows.
Band had to happen at some point.
Getting the band back.
The band is back together.
Back for the first time.
We're back, but for the first time, when we're back for the first time, we are a musical improv band that makes up songs about people's mundane problems. And we're called Mundane Problems because I had a jam with dear friend Evan Miles, who was like, okay, what do you want to jam? Like, we got together in a practice room at University of Manitoba, and I was like, I don't actually have anything. Could we like make something up? I'm like, what? He's like, okay, sure. He's like, what's a mundane problem you had recently? And it was truly like the rest is history. So we did, if you're a student, we did one of the lunch hour concert slots that they had, these half-hour slots, like 30, 35 minutes, and you just present something, pitch a show with very low stakes, and it's free to produce, and you have the resources of the university behind you. So like, so grateful for that.
And this is in
Manitoba.
Okay.
This is in the University of Manitoba in Winnipeg, and we'd gotten access to do one of those shows February 13th. So again, kind of like, we can play off of people like having, potentially dating related mundane problems as well. One of them, was definitely related to that, of having the fish, the men holding fish on Tinder, like, all too common. We started with that show, and then people loved it. And we're like, okay. So I organized a night at VW's, Voluntary Withdrawals, campus bar at University of Manitoba, and did that at the end of March after our February show. And I think we got about 60 something people out, and it was great. Had like an absolute ball. So yeah, kind of working with the bar afterwards. We, for the new school year, we managed to get a residency with them in the fall. And so we do shows every 2 weeks, just grinding through material and people's mundane problems. It was great. Yeah.
Awesome. The next question that I had is about what are some of the differences and the things that you've learned from those early shows that you did when you were basically a teenager to starting out fresh in a new place. What did you learn? What did you carry with you?
Oh, be realistic. Go with don't bank on selling out. Go with what do I make off of this show, or what does 60% capacity look like rather than 100? Because the sellout is great, but like that's for later. Or if there's like some definitive, even the shows that in your heart you want to do so well. I brought in quite a few acts here that like, unfortunately, earlier on in my producing, they did not get the love that they deserved of like a sold out house, even though they're like world-class comics. I know for a fact. Like,
but rural Newfoundland might just not have known who they were.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, be realistic also with people's tastes and what they the name recognition is not on them. The comedian's job is just to go there and perform. When you're producing, like if you're doing some kind of tour, have boots on the ground definitively like set. Like, we're going to do a couple of shows in Mundane Problems, going to do a couple of shows in Toronto at the end of January, early February, and Evan is there now, so I know that there's someone there who can take care of things physically in the space in the city that we're performing in. That's got to be a guarantee. And the Grand Falls Windsor show that got canceled for a tour, I did not have the connections there to I do now, but I didn't beforehand.
Yeah, it's very hard sometimes because you might talk to a venue and say, oh, do you have a mic set up? Do you have an amp? And they'll be like, yes. Oh yeah, sure, I do have that. And they don't. And that's really frustrating, when you show up and there's no gear. I almost feel like if you're doing a tour, you kind of need to have your own gear as a backup. Yeah. Because if you've never seen the space, and if the only contact you have is with the venue is over the phone, maybe somebody's like, oh yeah, I think there was a microphone or a mic somewhere a while ago, and it doesn't work anymore. And that's like, they saw it's there, but it doesn't actually work, or it like the amp is not good enough for the venue size or whatever. It's very challenging. I've never done a tour, but it sounds hard.
Yeah, it definitely takes having your ducks in a row before you go. That's a nice one. Keep that. Pocket that one for later. And like I always take this from Brie Parsons' handbook of just like, if you're asking your friends to go, they're your friends first and an audience member second. If they can't make it, you don't need to be spamming them with like, that is a difference from now that I have. Back then, the kind of copy and paste. You go to the show. Like, it's, people see that. There's no illusion that it's not like just a ploy to get
the seats filled.
The seats filled. Yeah.
Your audience ideally should want to be there because they were drawn in outside of knowing you. Like, as a production company, I kind of feel like your role is to be an anonymous thing that creates something that somebody goes, oh my God, I have to be at that show. Like, that sounds so cool. And
if you were wearing a bag over your head, they would have
Still,
if they had no idea who you were, they would still want to go to the show.
Exactly. So yes, like getting your pals out, having friends, having connections, like who knows, and it can be as easy as like putting out an Instagram story and just going like, oh, does anyone know anyone here? Like, I'm trying to book a show for later, like. And a lot more companies I notice are doing this right now, or like people will talk on podcasts. People will talk on podcasts about like, should we do a show here? Let us know. And then like if those people are attached to that show and get a big response, and like, okay, maybe we can.
It's only sensible, right? The podcast can go out anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
In the world, truly. My podcast is not out to the world. My podcast is, I think, still very, very small. But I love my audience. Thank you so much for tuning in. But it's only sensible if your like podcast could potentially be seen by a bunch of people anywhere to say, hey, who's watching? Would you be interested in coming to a show? Are you interested in learning about this side of things maybe? And that could be a connection for coming back. Like if a comedian is watching your show in a somewhere that you've never been before, that could be your boots on the ground potentially, right? And then you could have a mentorship position, like not expecting that person will 100% know what they're doing.
Totally.
But if they're interested and they're excited about it and excited to work with you, that might be a good way to get a connection. And then
100%. Yeah. Like getting people at the show to have a chat afterwards about like, and like just once you go somewhere, meeting anyone you can. That's been a consistent through line. That's been something that stayed the same. Anywhere I've gone, I've tried to meet whoever I can that's like involved in producing in those communities, and do the Facebook thing or the Instagram thing of like following their trajectory, keeping up, staying in touch has been a consistent through line, and like seeing what's on the go elsewhere in the country, who's touring right now, who could maybe make a stop in your city, be like, oh, you're only right there. Why not do a show here? Yeah.
Making those connections, I think, is really important. It was something that when I was younger, I was very bad at because I have social anxiety, and just talking to a person is so hard. And talking to somebody on the phone, a stranger who I've never met before, very, very challenging for me. And of course, as I've gotten older, it's gotten a lot easier to deal with. But I can understand being young and not knowing how to make those connections, not how to talk to people. And I just realized that I said, talk to a stranger on the internet. Always be safe. Right? Always, and set your expectations very low. Like, we're only ever going to meet in public areas.
Yeah. Like,
we're going to have a very professional relationship.
Promises from people looking to produce you as well as like, be wary of,
if they're saying that they're going to produce you, you check their credits, like see what shows that they've made before.
And what people say about them.
Yeah.
That's a really good point of like anyone who's promising you the moon, check if they're an astronaut. Go set the bar pretty low initially, and see if you can see if you can go to a mic they're doing or something, and then see if
And anybody who's, I think, a producer worth their salt will be totally happy to break down like money and time and like who's on the show, where the venue is, like what the vibe of the show is generally. They should have access to that information. And if they don't have it right away, it's maybe a sign that they're a newer producer. So again, set your expectations to low.
Get if you can, I think this is a difference now. When you're new producing, you do have to do it all yourself. With my recital, even my second recital that I had to do for school, as a per credit course for music school, I knew I wanted it to be big, and we did it in the concert hall, the brand new concert hall on campus. There was a fee for that. There's not anymore, but it was an endeavor. It was an undertaking already with that. But then I knew organizationally, like, know your strengths. If you're a capable host and you like the performing side of things like I do, maybe the organizational and like people managing side of it isn't your thing. If one of your friends can do the stage managing thing for you, which Sonia Campbell, bless you, you did. It just takes the weight off, and the more you can focus on the element of the show that you want to do, the better. And that being said, also not letting the burden of most things go to someone else when you want them to do it. Like, have your realistic expectations of what your responsibilities can be, but also know that you'll still need to do the work. Like, that is a change now. Like, I know where my strengths are and what I can do, and I actively do that rather than like just saying I will get around to that, but while I have it, could you do this and this? Like, you will overwhelm your friends easily before you know it, and they're your friends. You need to take care of them. Yeah.
And you mentioned earlier about being realistic. So being realistic with your expectations as a person, about like the venue, about the show, about your draw, about your budget for whatever it is.
Right.
But if you're working with people and delegating tasks, being realistic about what you're asking them and whether or not you're being clear about what you need and want out of them, like being a good manager. I have, again, not really inched my way up to the echelons of having an assistant or like operating those larger things, but I'm pushing towards that. That's something that and I'm always trying to be cognizant of when I was an assistant, what did I appreciate and what did I find difficult when I was working with people who were above me? Like, I need this done. You never told me what this is, or like kind of confusing language, or saying this is a priority, but this is also a priority, and this is a priority. And it's like, I'm sorry, there's only one priority.
It's this thing, and we're getting tangential right now. So please go back to the one thing.
But being able to delegate is challenging, I think, to a lot of people, especially when you're used to being a DIYer and doing everything yourself. Is like, no, it's easier for me to just do it myself. Is it necessarily? I don't know. Like, having
somebody, it will not always work out. I've had a lot of times where it has blessedly worked out. And I'm so grateful for all of those people who know who they are, that have seen me through those moments of me going like, right, idea, and feel like, but what do we need right now? And actually this instead, right? Yeah, you're right. We do need that first. The same note for young directors of stage or screen applies to producers, in that you need to be comfortable explaining that you don't know the answer to some questions. And if you don't know, a lot of the times as a producer, it feels like you've failed if you suddenly don't have the answer. But like, humility in this game only leads to it being easier to put off the thing, like put the thing together in the end.
Yeah. When I was doing, I made a short film, Ghost Roommate, and I had a wonderful crew, very small but mighty crew. Everybody there, fantastic to work with. And I wrote the script and directed it and produced it. It was a NIFCO first-time filmmaker thing. Everybody should do the NIFCO first-time filmmaker if you're in St. John's. Great program.
And go watch Ghost Roommate.
And go watch my short. I'll put a link to it up on the Highs Below Zero website soon. But anyway, at one point, someone was asking me, my hair and makeup person was asking about the hairstyle of the main character, and I know nothing. Look at this. I know nothing about hair. I know nothing about it. I have no idea. And
I was going to compliment your haircut the other night, and I never got around to it. I'm sorry, but it looks great.
I didn't do it myself.
I don't know if Many people.
Claire Porter cut my hair.
Listen, I know you didn't do it yourself because you didn't tell me.
I didn't call you crying, being like, should I cut my bangs?
It also wasn't your opening line when we saw each other. Be like, notice anything?
So I didn't know anything about it, and I was like, can you just, like, I trust you. Can you handle it, because you are the expert in this, and I know very little about it. And she did a fantastic job.
Yeah.
So, it was like hiring good people, having good people around you, knowing how to ask for questions, and also, knowing when to cede to expertise,
control,
like
knowing
control.
when to cede control, yes, of the thing. And like, so many of the earlier bigger shows that I wanted to do, like I'd be so interested. My career as a producer, a lot of ways, feels like it's gone in reverse, or like I'm in this valley now of like very realistic shows, if I'm gonna put them off, like put them together, because the beginning was just like big names whom I love, those comics, like they're so good. And if I had gone like starting doing the shows that I am now are at the scale that somebody starting would be doing. So it'd be really, I hadn't thought about that before, but like, I wonder what it would look like if I had to be like doing those shows now with these comedians. What it would be like.
Hey,
it's
like,
still possible.
It's still possible. You're doing a little tour. You could always be like, hey, we'll open for you or close. Like you open for us. I think that could be a fun little shtick.
It does save time, like for or save like resources for if you're able to host the tour that you're touring, then that saves you a lot in terms of like knowing, when did they get there, when did they, every element that you can like step in for and save yourself a bit of resources is good that way. But also knowing when to cede control. If producing needs more attention than hosting, finding a host who knows what to do in those situations and road situations. Yeah.
It's a lot of trial and error, I'm finding, because I have been
the royal
we. I've just like I'm somebody who learns by failing.
Yeah.
So I try something and I'm like, I don't think I'm good at this thing, but I do think I'm good at this other thing. So speaking to what you were saying earlier about knowing your strengths and your weaknesses and being able to compensate for those things, I think is very important. But it's also something that kind of just comes with time and experience and practice.
Yeah.
So starting your own shows and doing it really, really small scale, like at a small bar where you don't have to put down money, and maybe you'll get a couple of people, but you didn't put very much money into it, so you're getting back, like everything you're getting back is like setting realistic standards and thinking about realistic returns on investment, I think is a good idea.
It's not an overnight change, is to your point. Yes, like starting in a place where you can do the things that you're thinking of, and then you put off a show, and like the world doesn't end afterwards. It keeps going, and you've done the show, and you're like, okay, now what? Like making more after that. It's just gonna be the way it is. Like you're just gonna keep on doing shows.
And even if you shit the bed in a show, like even if you have a show and you completely shit the bed, if you keep making another show, that's just 1 out of 2 shows that was not very good.
Yeah.
And then you do another show, and that's 1 out of 3 shows that was not very good.
The ratio gets better over time.
And the ratio gets better, exactly.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. Like the ratio gets better over time. Of what
I'm a big fan of telling my audience members and anybody who's interested, be prepared to eat shit.
Yeah. And the way you open every show with that, I did have questions, but like maybe we can talk about it after.
You're gonna be unhappy at my show.
Yeah, that's and how you open every single time.
Every single one of them.
The audience.
Every one of my shows starts with 15 full minutes of me just crying. And it at minute 10, everybody's laughing. It's pretty.
Yeah, you do anything long enough, it will be funny eventually.
Eventually.
Yeah.
Were you there for when I did the car alarm? My impression of a car alarm?
Oh man. Oh, thank you, because that's a full section of my brain. Yeah. Oh, the Unpossible stand-up challenge with Unpossible NL, doing the stand-up challenge sets over the month of June. It was done. It was very, very much like First Timers Adjacent and Elling, Lynn.
And it got a lot of new comedians new people into the comedy scene interested in it.
Between those two, between the First Timer shows and those people who are hosting shows right now, like the whole New Funny show came about via the Unpossible challenge with Katie and Cara, like doing the Unpossible stand-up challenge, and yeah, Elling got me involved with that from working with the First Timer shows and hosting them. And then we blended it into the Braxton Comedy Festival, doing that with Mike Hammond and Brie Parsons. Like, yeah, eventually producing, you'll work with your buddies and like...
And you'll do some weird shows.
Yeah. The car alarm bit is so... bar.
Don't give away my bit. Don't give away this. Don't spoil it.
It's a very good bit about car alarms.
I've never done that joke again because I don't think it would land as well. That was a show that had, I think, 36...
You don't think it would land as well? I can still do it, and I still, the instant you said it, I went back to
like a trauma flashback.
Hang on. Sometimes we have memories. Sometimes we just have nice memories.
I only speak in therapy speak.
Sometimes flashbacks can be good, Vera, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
And that was definitely one of them, is standing backstage in the wings, waiting to go on, and see, there's just like an audience cracking up, like it was like ice melting. You're just like, you get this chuckle here. And then by minute 3, the whole wave of people have like...
It's my favorite bit I've ever done.
It's so good. You should absolutely do it again. That's really funny.
Coming soon from Highs Below Zero, Veronica Diamond's impression of a car alarm.
Oh God, could it
40
just be
minutes of me honking.
Guys,
but it's funny.
We thought we had the audio for this show.
15 minutes of me crying, then the rest of it is honking.
I see
horrible clown act.
I see the Fringe show now. 15 minutes of me crying, and the rest is honking by Hero Diamond.
Oh.
So yeah, you should.
How to drive an audience away.
Oh my God! Why? I mean, it's in the car.
Right. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I thought that would be funny.
Yeah.
So comedy producing. What's next for you in terms of your comedy, in terms of your producing and making shows happen?
Yeah, for Mundane Problems stuff, that's the main focus right now. Like we're really, this just ties back into like, keep doing it and meet whoever you can. It is really daunting. I love meeting people. The golden retriever energy thing is real. Like I just love meeting new people. So meeting people in Winnipeg, when I was doing stand-up before and visiting because I had family out there, doing some open mic nights. Like if you're going on a, can't recommend this to everybody, if you're going on a family trip and you have the time to go and they're cool with it, value your family time first. But if they're cool with it, it'd be like, yeah, could I like have time to do this mic or find out who, somebody in your scene knows somebody in that scene. Or they know of somebody who knows somebody.
Canada is a small town.
Yeah. Canada is a small town. Somebody has a connection somewhere. So yeah, doing those mics, and then eventually going to University of Manitoba. I met a great guy, Benji Rothman, who was able to. He runs a club now, The Basement. It's a speakeasy in the basement of a hotel. gorgeous venue, the Basement Winnipeg, at the Basement Winnipeg. And we started doing some shows there, and it was just this great partnership. The first one that we did was with the Winnipeg Comedy Festival. We're a satellite show that got to happen there, and it was just like the best. And then we did the Winnipeg Jazz Festival like a month after, and I'm pretty proud of that because I don't know of another like group or comedians who like have got those same credits in the same year, months apart, like 1 month apart.
That's the benefit of having a double art. All those hyphens coming home to roost.
The hyphens come home to roost. Sound like Hedley Lamar. Bring me my hyphens. Then the following year, doing more shows there. It's so I think the next goal would honestly be to like get the video producing side of things is so tough because like Dan Ketting, who does our videos, like the editing of them, the audio mastering and stuff, fantastic, and went through the trouble. This was another example of like asking a friend to be like, hey, would you do this? I will pay you. It's going to be a bit of work of like captioning our improv music videos because it's like not always going to be picked up by the AI. Whatever, cleanly at all. Like that's not our song at all. But the next thing I think is getting more videos out there for mundane problems, and then we've got a show, got a couple of shows coming up at the end of January and early February. Yeah. And whatever I can make happen out in Edmonton.
Cool. Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're moving to Edmonton soon. Is there anything that you're excited for in Edmonton? I don't know anything about the comedy scene in Edmonton other than it exists and apparently is good.
I was talking to somebody about this the other night about like there's a brick and mortar, like there's a building that is dedicated to improv shows. There's Rapid Fire Theater. Like it's been on the go for 40 plus years. Having that space, I didn't realize like how much of a wild thing that is. That like there's a building you can go to where you know there's going to be predominantly improv shows happening. And I'm living very near to that. Come say hi. Come to my apartment building. Wave hello.
Safety first.
Safety first. Oh my God, safety. Can you quick cut that? It's just flash cuts.
Gert and Bert show up. Hey, stranger danger.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I'm living in that area, and the Grindstone Theater is over there too. A fantastic space that is also making like musicals this year. Literally award-winning productions of musicals. They just did Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder, and then also like improv classes and shows and stand-up nights, and yeah, just being involved, and there's so many great people in that scene who are so welcoming that like for all of the caution that one does need to have in the stand-up world and the improv world, just in
show business
show business in general, it's like there are so many good people who are willing to like welcome you. So even people who are like so incredibly talented in one art form who say, I could never do that. I think the future will continue to be just making sure people feel comfortable trying stuff that they think they could never. So doing something.
Yeah. And I guess the final thought that I would like to ask you about is for anybody who's thinking of starting their own show, what's a piece of advice that you would give them?
Piece of advice for starting
like an improv show or a comedy show or something like that. Just one.
Never too many questions. There are never too many questions you can ask. If you feel like you've been badgering somebody that is in the scene who's been doing it for a while, there are never too many questions. by the time there are too many questions, you'll have produced the show. Like, it's just, you will keep asking stuff on the night of. Is the do we have the lights? Is the mic on? How's the sound? By the time you've asked too many questions, the show's already happened.
Right.
So yeah, never be afraid to ask too many questions.
Unless the question is, are you coming to the show to your friend,
To your friend.
who has been to your last 15 shows, and you're like, no,
You can take a break.
yeah. They've seen your post. They know. They know what's happening. If they wanted to come, they could come. Attract like an audience outside of your friend sphere is a good note.
Night outs as there are. Invite someone to a night off.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much for being on the show, Christopher. That's great.
So thrilled to have chatted with you, buddy. Where
can people find you on the online?
I have 3 Instagrams.
Why?
I know. It's a lot. I'm at C Dunn Comedy on Instagram. I am also at Night Out Prod. That's the production company. I'm keeping it brief and cool. And I'm at Mundane Problems Band. Mundane, not Monday Problems. Mundane, the simples. Mundane Problems Band as well. So yeah. Come find us out there on the worldwide Instagram.
Night Prod sounds a little bit cheeky, too.
Night Prod is just, it's like Facebook pokes. Yeah, we're bringing that back.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much, Christopher. This has been High School Zero. If you like this, please like or subscribe. I don't know what you do on YouTube. You subscribe on YouTube. I think you can also like it, I think.
Yeah.
Sure. I'm so good at producing this show.
Give your computer a hug when you're done watching this.
And a prod.
And that prod is for the like button.
And scene.